Hello, everyone. Today, I want to ask you one simple question. Do you feel that you do not have enough time? Many people do. They wake up early, they go to work, they go to school, they cook, they clean, they answer messages, they pay bills, they help their family. Then the day is over. At night, they feel tired. They say, I wanted to study English. I wanted to read. I wanted to exercise, but I had no time. Maybe you have said those words too. Many people wait for the perfect time. They think, when I have one free hour, I will begin. When life becomes easier, I will begin. When I have more energy, I will begin. But something interesting happens. That one free hour never comes. Tomorrow looks a lot like today. Next week looks a lot like this week. Another month passes. Another year passes. The dream is still waiting. The sad thing is not that people are lazy. Most people are not lazy. They are simply waiting. Waiting can feel safe. If you wait, you do not have to begin. If you wait, you cannot fail. If you wait, you do not have to feel uncomfortable. But waiting has a quiet price. Every day that passes is one day that cannot come back. Time is different from money. If you lose money, you may earn it again. If you lose time, it is gone. That sounds serious. But this story is not about feeling guilty. It is about seeing time in a different way. Imagine two people. They both have the same 24 hours. The first person says, I need one free hour. The second person says, I only need 5 minutes. At first, nothing looks different. 5 minutes feels too small. 5 minutes cannot change a life. Can it? Let us think about that. 5 minutes today. 5 minutes tomorrow. 5 minutes the next day. Soon, 5 minutes becomes 35 minutes. Then it becomes 150 minutes. Then many hours. Small moments quietly become something much bigger. Think about filling a glass with water. One drop looks like nothing. You almost cannot see the change. Another drop falls. Still nothing. Then another. And another. If you watch for only 1 minute, the glass looks almost the same. But if you come back later, the glass is full. Life often works like that. Big change is usually made of very small moments. Maybe you want to speak English better. Do not think about 1,000 hours. Think about 5 minutes. Listen to one short story. Learn one new word. Repeat one sentence. That is enough for today. Tomorrow can take care of tomorrow. Many people carry a heavy backpack, not on their shoulders, inside their minds. The backpack is full of big plans. I will study for 3 hours. I will read 100 pages. I will change everything. The backpack becomes heavier and heavier. Soon they stop walking. Not because they are weak, because the backpack is too heavy. Now imagine another person. This person carries almost nothing. Only 5 minutes. Only one page. Only one lesson. The road feels lighter. The first person keeps waiting. The second person keeps moving. Which person do you think will arrive first? Years ago, a teacher placed an empty glass jar on a table. The jar was clean. It was completely empty. The teacher smiled and asked, "What do you see?" One student answered, "I see an empty jar." The teacher nodded. Yes, it is empty. But it will not stay empty. The students looked at each other. Nobody understood. The teacher took one small marble from a box. He dropped it into the jar. Click. The sound was soft. Then he placed another marble inside. Click. Then another. Click. The jar still looked almost empty. Some students smiled. One student quietly asked, "What is the point?" The teacher answered, "Come back in 1 month." That was all. No long speech. No difficult lesson. Just one sentence. The next day, one more marble went into the jar. Click. The day after that, another marble. Click. Sometimes the students forgot to look. Sometimes they noticed. The jar changed very slowly, almost too slowly to see. Then one morning, a student stopped walking. He looked at the jar. It was no longer almost empty. It was almost half full. He looked surprised. When did that happen? The teacher smiled. It happened one marble at a time. Life asks the same question. Not, what will you do this year? But, what will you do today? Not, can you study for 3 hours? But, can you give 5 minutes? Those are very different questions. One feels heavy. The other feels possible. Sometimes we make life harder than it needs to be. We keep looking at the whole mountain. We forget that every mountain is climbed one step at a time. We keep looking at the whole year. We forget that every year is made of ordinary days. And every ordinary day is made of ordinary minutes. Life is not made 1 year at a time. Life is made one small moment at a time. Maybe today is busy. Maybe you are tired. Maybe you have many responsibilities. That is okay. Do not ask yourself, "Do I have 1 free hour?" Ask yourself, "Do I have 5 minutes?" Maybe the answer is yes. 5 quiet minutes before breakfast. 5 minutes while your coffee is warm. 5 minutes before you sleep. 5 minutes while you wait for the bus. 5 minutes while dinner is cooking. Those minutes may look small, but small does not mean unimportant. A brick looks small, yet many bricks build a house. One page looks small, yet many pages become a book. One English word looks small, yet many words become a conversation. 1 minute looks small, yet many minutes become your life. Tomorrow we will come back to the little glass jar. For now, remember one simple thought. Do not wait for more time. Begin with the time you already have. Yesterday we talked about 5 minutes. 5 minutes does not sound like much. Many people think it is too small. They believe real change needs more time. But let me ask you another question. What do you usually do for 5 minutes? Maybe you look at your phone. Maybe you watch one short video. Then another. Then another. You tell yourself, only one more. Suddenly, 30 minutes are gone. It happens to almost everyone. Time rarely disappears all at once. It disappears little by little. That is why we often do not notice it. Imagine a small hole in a water bottle. Only one drop falls, then another. The bottle still looks full. Hours later, the bottle is empty. Nobody saw the water leave, but it did. Time can disappear the same way. Not with one big decision, with many small ones. This is not about feeling bad. We all waste time sometimes. I do. You do. Everyone does. The important question is not, did I waste time? The important question is, what will I do with the next 5 minutes? Life is always giving you another 5 minutes. You cannot get yesterday back, but you can use the next moment. That is enough. The glass jar is waiting. Imagine the teacher again. Every morning before class started, he dropped one marble into the jar. Click. He never forgot. Some mornings he was busy. Click. Some mornings he felt tired. Click. Some mornings he arrived late. Still. Click. One marble. Not 10. Not 20. Only one. The students stopped paying attention. The jar became part of the classroom. Nobody talked about it anymore. Life is often like that. The most important things are usually quiet. The sun rises quietly. Trees grow quietly. A child becomes taller quietly. Good habits grow quietly too. One afternoon, the teacher asked the class, "How many marbles are in the jar?" Nobody knew. They had stopped counting. Then he asked, "How many days have passed?" Again, nobody knew. The teacher smiled. That is how life works. You do not notice one day. You notice 1 year. That sentence stayed in one student's mind. Maybe it can stay in yours too. Most days feel ordinary. Monday feels like Tuesday. Tuesday feels like Wednesday. Nothing special happens. Then one day you look at an old picture. You think, I was younger. When did that happen? The answer is simple. One ordinary day at a time. That is why ordinary days matter. Many people wait for special days. The first day of the month. The first day of the year. Their birthday. Monday. Next Monday. Next month. Next season. But life is mostly made of ordinary Wednesdays. Ordinary Tuesdays. Ordinary evenings. Ordinary mornings. If you learn to use ordinary days, you learn to use your life. Think about learning English. You do not become better because of one long study session. You become better because English becomes part of your day. One story. One page. One word. One sentence. Again tomorrow. Imagine brushing your teeth. You probably do not think about it very much. You simply do it. What if English became like that? Not something heavy. Not something difficult. Just something you do. Little by little. That is a very different life. The teacher never asked the students to fill the jar in one day. He knew that would be impossible. Instead, he trusted small actions. Small actions are easy to repeat. And repeated actions become habits. Many people want motivation. Motivation is wonderful. But motivation comes and goes. Some mornings you feel excited. Some mornings you do not. Habits are different. They stay even when excitement is gone. That is why small habits are so powerful. You do not have to feel ready. You only have to begin. 5 minutes is often enough. Sometimes you will study longer. Sometimes you will stop after 5 minutes. Both are okay. Because the goal is not one perfect day. The goal is to come back tomorrow. Imagine 2 jars. One person fills the jar every day. One marble. Click. The other person waits. He says, I will fill my jar next week. Next week comes. He waits again. 1 year later, both people look at their jars. One jar is almost full. The other is almost empty. The difference was never one big day. The difference was one small choice repeated many times. People often ask, how can I change my life? Maybe the better question is, what can I repeat? Because your future is often hidden inside the things you repeat. You repeat worry. Or you repeat learning. You repeat waiting. Or you repeat beginning. Every day you choose. Sometimes without noticing. Before you go to sleep tonight, think about your own jar. It is invisible. You cannot hold it. But it is there. Every 5 minutes you use well is another marble. Click. Tomorrow, another marble. Click. Next week, another marble. Click. One day you will look back. You will ask, when did I become better? The answer will be simple. One marble at a time. Sometimes we ask a strange question. Where did the time go? Maybe you have asked it too. You finish your day. You sit down. You look at the clock. It is already night. You wonder, what did I do today? The funny thing is this. Most days do not feel fast. But weeks do. Months do. Years do. Time is quiet. It does not run. It does not shout. It simply keeps moving. Imagine standing beside a river. If you watch the water for 1 minute, it does not look very different. The river seems calm, almost still. But come back tomorrow. The water is different. Come back next year. The river is still there, but the water you saw before is gone. Time is like that river. It never stops. It never waits. Many people believe they lose time because they are busy. Sometimes that is true, but not always. Two people can have the same busy day. One feels happy. The other feels empty. What is the difference? Often it is not time. It is attention. Think about eating dinner. Have you ever finished a meal and realized you hardly tasted it? Your body was eating, but your mind was somewhere else. Maybe you were thinking about tomorrow. Maybe you were looking at your phone. Maybe you were worrying. The meal disappeared. Not because it was short, because you were not really there. Life can feel the same. Many days disappear because our minds are always somewhere else. We are driving, but thinking about work. We are walking, but thinking about yesterday. We are studying, but thinking about our phones. We are with family, but thinking about emails. Our body stays in one place. Our mind travels somewhere else. Then the day ends. We ask, where did the time go? Maybe the better question is, where was my attention? Attention is a quiet gift. Whatever you give it to becomes part of your life. If you give 5 careful minutes to English every day, English becomes part of your life. If you give 5 careful minutes to your family, those moments become part of your life. If you give 5 careful minutes to silence, peace becomes part of your life. 5 minutes is not only about time. It is about attention. The teacher understood this. One afternoon, he did something different. He placed the jar in the middle of the classroom. Then he asked everyone to stop talking. For 1 minute, nobody spoke. Nobody moved. Everyone simply looked at the jar. The room became very quiet. The students could hear small sounds. A bird outside. The wind near the window. Someone turning a page. Then, click. The teacher dropped 1 marble into the jar. The sound filled the room. 1 small marble. 1 small sound. Everyone noticed it. Then the teacher smiled. When you slow down, he said, small things become easier to see. The students understood. Not with their heads, with their hearts. Most beautiful moments are small. A child laughing. Warm coffee in your hands. Rain on the window. A kind smile. A deep breath. 1 new English word. These moments are easy to miss. Not because they are unimportant, because they are quiet. Our world is very loud. Phones ring. Videos play. Messages appear. News never stops. Everything asks for our attention. Sometimes the loudest thing wins. But the loudest thing is not always the most important thing. Think about a garden. Flowers do not grow because someone shouts at them. They grow because they receive a little sunlight every day, a little water, a little care. Your life grows the same way, not through noise, through small moments of attention. Maybe today you only listen to English for 5 minutes. That is not a small thing. Maybe today you read 1 page. That is not a small thing. Maybe today you closed your phone and sat quietly for a few minutes. That is not a small thing. Those moments are marbles. Click, click, click. Sometimes people ask, when will my jar be full? There is no perfect answer, because the jar is not the goal. The goal is becoming the kind of person who keeps adding marbles. That person does not wait for a perfect day. That person does not wait for perfect motivation. That person simply comes back, again and again. One marble, one quiet moment, one small choice. Tomorrow morning, your day will begin again. You will have 24 hours. Just like everyone else, some moments will disappear. That is normal. But maybe, just maybe, you can save 5 minutes. 5 quiet minutes. 5 careful minutes. 5 minutes that belong only to you. Place them inside your jar. Then tomorrow, add 1 more. You may not notice the change this week. You may not notice it this month. But one day you will look back. You will smile. Not because life suddenly became easy, but because you stopped waiting for more time. You learned to treasure the time you already had. Maybe you have noticed something by now. This story is not really about a jar. It is not really about marbles. It is not even about 5 minutes. It is about your life. Sometimes we think life is made of big moments. Graduation, a new job, a wedding, a new house, a long trip. Those moments are beautiful. We remember them for many years. But they are not most of life. Most of life is much quieter. It is Monday morning. It is Tuesday evening. It is washing the dishes. It is making coffee. It is waiting for the bus. It is walking home after work. These moments may not feel important, but they are your life. Imagine reading a very long book. You do not read every page with the same excitement. Some pages are exciting. Some pages are simple. Some pages feel ordinary. Still, every page belongs in the story. If you remove most of the pages, the story no longer makes sense. Life is the same. Ordinary days are not empty days. They are the pages of your life. Many people believe they need to change everything. A new routine, a new schedule, a new morning, a new life. That sounds exciting, but it also feels heavy. Then nothing changes. Maybe there is another way. Maybe you do not need a new life. Maybe you only need a better next 5 minutes. That feels lighter. That feels possible. Think about yesterday. Yesterday is finished. You cannot change it. Think about tomorrow. Tomorrow has not arrived. You cannot live there yet. But this moment is here. This moment is asking only one question. What will you do now? That question is small, but small questions often lead to big answers. Imagine a person planting 1 flower every Saturday. Only 1. People walk by. Nobody notices. Months pass. Then spring comes. The garden is full of color. People stop and smile. When did this happen? It happened 1 flower at a time. Success often arrives quietly. People usually notice it at the end. They do not see the many quiet days before it. Maybe someone speaks English very well. You hear them. You think, they are talented. Maybe they are. But maybe they also listened for 10 minutes every day. Maybe they learned one word every morning. Maybe they read one page every night. Those small moments are invisible, but they are real. We often compare our results with someone else's years. That is not fair. You are only seeing the tree. You did not see the seed. You did not see the rain. You did not see the long winter. Everyone has quiet days that nobody else sees. Those days matter. There is another reason small moments are important. They teach us who we are. If every evening you choose to learn one new word, you begin to think, I am someone who learns. If every morning you take a short walk, you begin to think, I am someone who takes care of my body. If every night you read one page, you begin to think, I am someone who finishes what I begin. Your identity grows from repetition, not from one exciting day, not from one perfect decision, from many ordinary choices, again and again. Think about a clock. The hands move very slowly. You cannot see them moving. But look again, 1 hour later. They are in a different place. The clock never hurried. It never stopped. It simply kept moving. You can live that way too. You do not have to rush. You do not have to compare yourself. You only have to keep moving. Sometimes only one small step. Sometimes only 5 quiet minutes. That is enough. Many people are looking for a faster way, a better plan, a secret method, a perfect system. But there is something stronger than all of those things. Consistency. Doing the small thing again tomorrow, and again next week, and again next month. That may sound boring, but boring things often build beautiful lives. The sun rises every morning. The seasons keep changing. The ocean keeps touching the shore. Nature is not in a hurry. Still, everything grows. Maybe we can learn from that. Maybe we do not need to run. Maybe we only need to return. Return to one page. Return to one lesson. Return to one promise. Return to 5 quiet minutes. Every time you return, another marble falls into the jar. Click. Another ordinary day becomes meaningful. Click. Another small choice becomes part of your future. Click. One day, someone may ask you, how did you improve your English? Or, how did you become so calm? Or, how did you change your life? Your answer may surprise them. You may simply smile and say, I started with 5 minutes. That answer sounds too simple. But simple things are often true. Tonight, your jar is waiting. It does not ask for 1 hour. It does not ask for perfection. It only asks, will you add one more marble today? If your answer is yes, your future has already begun. Before we finish this story, I want you to think about one last question. If someone asked you, what is your life made of? What would you say? Some people might say, my work, my family, my dreams, my memories. Those answers are all true. But there is another answer. Your life is made of moments. Some moments are big. Most moments are small. The small ones are easy to forget, but they never stop shaping you. Think about the jar one last time. When the teacher first placed it on the table, it looked empty. Nothing special. Just an ordinary glass jar. The students looked at it. Then they forgot about it. Day after day, one marble fell into the jar. Click. No applause. Click. No celebration. Click. No excitement. Just one small marble. Again and again. One morning, the teacher did not say anything. He simply picked up the jar. He held it in front of the class. The students looked carefully. The jar was almost full. Nobody could believe it. One student smiled. Another looked surprised. Then someone quietly said, "I never saw it filling up." The teacher nodded. That is how many good things happen. You do not see them growing. You only notice them when they have grown. Those words are true for many parts of life. Confidence grows quietly. Friendship grows quietly. Knowledge grows quietly. Trust grows quietly. Even hope grows quietly. It rarely arrives all at once. It comes little by little. Maybe you are listening to this story because you want better English. Maybe you want more confidence. Maybe you simply want to become a better version of yourself. Those are wonderful goals. But do not spend all your time looking far ahead. Sometimes the next step is enough. One page, one lesson, one conversation, one quiet minute. People often ask, when will I finally become fluent? There is no single day. There is no magic morning. One day you simply notice something. You understand a sentence without translating it. You remember a word without trying. You smile because English feels a little easier. That moment feels wonderful. But it did not begin that day. It began many months earlier, with one small lesson, then another, then another. The jar was filling all along. Life works in the same quiet way. You may not notice yourself becoming stronger, kinder, calmer, more patient, more confident. Growth is difficult to see while it is happening. That is why we should never stop too soon. Many people quit because they cannot see today's change. They forget that today's marble is joining hundreds of others. Nothing is wasted. Every honest effort matters. Every page matters. Every 5 minutes matters. Every time you begin again matters. Even if yesterday was difficult, today can still receive one marble. Even if last week was busy, today can still receive one marble. Even if you stopped for a long time, today can still receive one marble. Your jar is patient. It does not ask where you have been. It simply waits for the next marble. That is a beautiful thought. Many people believe they have failed because they missed a few days. But one missed day is only one missed day. Tomorrow is another chance. The jar is still there, waiting. Quietly, life is kinder than we sometimes believe. It keeps giving us another morning, another evening, another opportunity, not to become perfect, but to begin again. Perhaps that is the real lesson of this story. Do not wait for a perfect week. Do not wait for a perfect month. Do not wait until you feel ready. Begin with today. Begin with this moment. Begin with the next 5 minutes. One day, years from now, you may look back. You may remember this season of your life. You may smile. Not because everything was easy, but because you chose not to stop. One marble, one quiet choice, one ordinary day, again and again, until those ordinary days became an extraordinary life. Thank you for spending these moments with me. I hope this story stays with you the next time you think, I do not have enough time. Maybe you do. Maybe it is already in your hands. Just 5 quiet minutes. And perhaps that is enough. See you in the next story.